Let's talk about manufactured lightsabers versus found parts lightsabers. So this topic was inspired by you guys actually, because I recently did an unboxing video of this kind of found parts type of lightsaber here, and you guys had some really great comments about it, and a lot of you actually commented that you enjoyed the found parts aesthetic of the lightsaber. One of you actually used that specific term, found parts aesthetic, and I like that, so I'm taking that. But you can call this whatever you want, like kind of a cobbled together look, found parts look. That's what it is. So it's basically, you have this kind of pipe at the bottom. It looks like something you could purchase from a home improvement store, and all of these other pieces are kind of added on top of that. And it looks like something you could just make at home, and quite a few people do this. There's lots of great YouTube videos out there of people making their own lightsaber somewhat like this. Now, the flip side of that is the manufactured lightsaber like this. So this is a Saberforge Exile. This has been machined. All of these pieces were designed specifically for this hilt, whereas like in the case of this hilt, someone could have purchased this pipe, for example, and actually used that with their home, because that's the original intent. You know, this is a pipe like for a house or whatever. So yeah, whoever made this probably didn't have any idea it would eventually turn into a lightsaber, but if they found out, they'd probably think that's kind of cool. Anyway, so those are two very different approaches, having a kind of manufactured lightsaber like a Saberforge one, or a kind of cobbled together lightsaber like this one. So what are some things you like or dislike about each of them? I think one nice thing possibly about the kind of found parts lightsaber is it seems a little more homemade, and it's kind of like you can have a mass-produced cookie from the store, right? Or you can have something that grandma baked, you know, like chocolate chip cookies that grandma baked. And I think that these found parts lightsabers maybe have a little more of that feel, although this specific found parts lightsaber is actually kind of produced on a wider scale, so it's maybe missing a little bit of that personality and charm, but it depends on how you look at it. So that's possibly a positive of the found parts aesthetic, is it just feels kind of more real and homey, and feels like you could have just made it, and in some cases you did make it, whereas I could never make this myself. There's no hope for this unless I'd get some really large machinery and stuff. All of these parts were made specifically for the lightsaber hilt. On the other hand, the kind of machined hilt, it seems maybe more real, or maybe more like the hilts that were made for the movies. So it could bring realism in that other sense. So this hilt could bring realism in the sense that you feel like you could have made it. This hilt brings realism in the sense that it looks kind of more like the hilts you see in the movies, and very kind of polished and professional. So I think there's something to be said for both ways. And again, a lot of you said you kind of liked the look of this. And these type of sabers also tend to be a bit cheaper, probably because they don't need the big machines to make them. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. What do you think of manufactured lightsaber hilts like this one versus kind of cobbled together, homemade, or found parts lightsabers like this one here?